I'm back to the garage. Today we are going to polish these GSR blades. I've never done this before. I've seen a few different ways to do it. Look at these gloves. I've seen a few different ways to do it. I've already started prepping them, but I'm gonna go over the entire process. But I wanted to show you one of before, one of kind of in the process, and then one that is about to be polished. So as you can see, the clear coat on these is no bueno. All of them are like that. We've already started sanding that one a little bit. I'm gonna go over this entire process though. So first thing you're gonna wanna do with these is just wash them really good. I use some Purple Power and then just hit them with a brush. Get as much grime and nastiness off of them as you can. And then the next thing that I'm gonna do, and I've seen to use a stripper, which I may, depending on how this one looks, I'll get to this in just a second. I may use a stripper on these two to get all of the clear coat off. I figured that if I used, so this is a 220 grit. Actually, there's nothing on there right now. But I was using a 220 grit. Hand me one of those. A good one. I was using a 220 grit that it's a little stink racing is gonna hand me in here in just a second. Just one. One of these sanding pads to get all of the clear coat. So this one did look like that one. And so the goal here is to get these, all of the clear coat off. And then I'm actually going to hit them with this polish. And I want to get at least one of them done. So I'm going to get this one done tonight. We'll spare you guys the sanding of this. We're going to finish sanding this one all the way down using 320 grit on this little orbital thing first, this little drill attachment thing first. And then 1600, is that 1600?
Which one?
That one. 2000 grit, little stink racing. He's gonna hit it with 2000 grit to get this one all smoothed out, and then I'm gonna start polishing it. So I'll show you guys that in just a second. All right, so this is day 2 on polishing the wheels. A couple of things I'm gonna recommend that you don't do right off the bat. Number one is that you try to sand the clear coat off. That was a bad idea. It's a pain in the ass. I used the 320, I think I talked about in yesterday's little clip. I used the 320 grit sandpaper and it created some scratches on that wheel. Now, if you look at them, I'll get you a good picture. There we go. If you look at them, that one doesn't look too bad. So this front one here is the one that's been polished. It looks good from far, but there's little tiny scratches in it everywhere. So what I'm gonna do, let me use some of this highly toxic shit, apparently. This aircraft stripper. I'm gonna put that on there for an hour. I'm gonna come back and see if it's pulled all of the clear coat off, and then I'm gonna start polishing. The goal is to get tires on these today and get them on the Del Sol. Stay tuned. All right, so I just put the aircraft remover on the wheels. I'm gonna let them sit for about an hour. Like I said, I do not recommend, unless you have like terrible curb rash or something on the wheels that you need to get out, and then you need to do it in steps. I do not recommend using a high grit sandpaper on these wheels. I would probably start at no less than maybe like 400-600, somewhere around there, if you just need to get some scratches out. But then again, you're gonna have to step. You're gonna have to go 400, 600, 800, 1,000, 2,000 to get the scratches out. The one that I ended up polishing last night, it looks decent from a couple feet away, but if you get up close, you can still see a bunch of the fine scratches in there. So gonna be a pain in the ass to get those out, but I'm gonna get them out. This stuff needs to sit for about an hour. And as you can see, it already looks like it's starting to peel some of that off. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we'll see. I'll be back here in an hour to see how it works. All right, so that's a long, boring process that I did not want to document all the way for you guys as far as like what I needed to do, because a lot of it was sanding. Here's what I did though, because I do want to give you some good info here and what I would and wouldn't do again. So I definitely would not start with anything below 400 grit sandpaper. They're all done. They look pretty good. Took hours, lots of polishing by hand. So what I would do is start with 400. So use this, the aircraft remover stuff. Use that, let it sit on there for an hour. If you can see that residue right there, that's all the clear coat that came off. So let it sit on the wheels for 1 hour. So aircraft remover first, let it sit for 1 hour. Then once that's done, you're gonna take a 400 grit sandpaper, And you're going to sand all the way around the wheel, nice and light. Just get the clear coat off. Don't get any deep scratches in the wheel. That's where I fucked up, and it's been a pain in the ass to get the scratches out. There's still, one of the wheels is shitty. It looks good from a couple feet, but you get up close to see a lot of scratches. Second thing is, you're gonna get 600 grit, do the same thing, go over it. Get 1,000 grit, do the same thing, go over it. Also, this is all wet sanding. Use, I like soapy water. Soapy water works really well. Then finally, you're gonna use 2,000 grit and go over it to give it a nice little polish. Then I bought one of these little balls. I'll get off Amazon. I paid way too much for it at the auto parts store. Then I went to Walmart to pick up that aircraft remover shit, and I saw it there. Look at this fucking mess back here just to polish these wheels. My shit's normally very organized, but looks like shit in here right now. So you're gonna use that. You're gonna polish it. What really works, this is a hack. If you have a detailing friend or whatever, get that polish. So I used, where's it at? This white diamond stuff. Sorry for moving the camera around too much. I use this white diamond stuff on the polishing ball. So on the drill and on the ball. And then what I like to do is dip my fingers in some of this and go over it just with your fingers, with your hand and a glove on. There's a little texture here. I feel like for whatever reason, that works better than the electric buffer. It works better than anything I've ever done. Then I like to do 3-step cloths. So this one's fucking super nasty, filled with polish. This one's a little bit cleaner. And this one is the final dry buff on the wheels. And they look pretty good. If you remember, they were fucking thrashed. They look pretty good now. I'm pretty happy with them. I'm gonna go get tires thrown on them, and then they're going on my Del Sol. Hopefully this helps some of you polish these wheels out. I would just recommend buying some that someone already polished.